Shocking testimonies from China about empty city centers and queues at crematoriums. Chinese citizens from various regions of the country continue to post testimonies on social media about the prevailing situation, describing images of empty streets, deserted cities and villages at a time when an outbreak of respiratory infections is being recorded, with hospitals and crematoriums remaining overcrowded. These descriptions reinforce the prevailing concern, as the image transmitted by state media seems to be significantly different from the reality experienced by citizens. Since the beginning of COVID pandemic, when it first emerged in the city of Wuhan, China, has faced waves of mass infections almost every year. The regime's record of accurate and transparent reporting remains questionable, with it often accused of concealing or underreporting cases, especially in the early stages of this health crisis. And as a result, both analysts and public are turning to alternative sources of information, such as personal accounts and unofficial data, to understand the true extension of the situation. A truck driver from Fujian province, who only gave his surname Chen for security reasons, told Epoch Times that he has lost many people close to him in the past 2 years, adding that acquaintances from other parts of the country have shared similar experiences with him. At the height of the pandemic, funeral homes were overwhelmed by the number of bodies arriving, the demand for cremation so high that authorities were forced to undertake extensive renovation expansions of facilities to increase the speed of all this. Chen recalls that 2 or 3 years ago, there were so many waiting to be cremated that relatives of the deceased had to wait for days, even weeks, or more than a month for their turn. Today, he says, the situation may have stabilized technically, thanks to improved infrastructure, but those people passing continue to be recorded at alarming rates without the authorities providing a clear explanation or releasing detailed statistics. Many of Chen's relatives and friends passed in recent years, adding a personal dimension to the broader public health concern about what's really happening in China. The prevailing feeling among citizens, as evidenced by testimonies posted on social media, is the truth is being systematically concealed, and that the scale of the health crisis, combined with official silence, has caused a sense of widespread insecurity and uncertainty across the country. Mr. Li, a village in Zuku, Henan province in northern China, who gave only his last name for security reasons, told Epoch Times that in recent days, local hospitals have been overwhelmed with patients, and that many people have passed from conditions such as pneumonia, heart attacks, and ischemic strokes. Most of those passed were otherwise healthy people in their 30s or 40s, he said. He said that in recent years, local villages with population about 500 to 600 have reported many deaths, some people before being taken to hospital, he said. Poor people are like ants, they die and are buried quietly. Their families cannot afford cremation. This situation is very common these days, he said. Tan, a resident of Tonghua in northeastern China, who gave only her surname for security reasons, said her daughter brought her child who was sick to the hospital for treatment in recent days and found that the local hospital was overcrowded with patients and had been for the past few weeks. She also said that her friend who attended the relative's funeral in early April told her that crematoriums remained overcrowded. And she said that many people have died in her sister's neighborhood in recent months, including people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. A US-based China watcher said that many indicators point to a serious decline in China's population and that the CCP has been significantly underreporting the COVID-19 mortality rate and deaths due to draconian lockdowns and other measures in official reports. In a growing number of videos, Chinese language social media people across China are asking, where did everyone go? What is China's real population? A large number of videos taken by Chinese residents appeared on social media in recent months, showing how many abandoned towns and villages across the country and empty streets in major cities, with people questioning China's real population in 2025. The anecdotal account comes out of China and the authorities continued actions to suppress global calls for transparency about the pandemic data from China, depicting a problem that is China's total population has experienced a huge precipitous decline in just a few years. Only this can fully and reasonably explain people's observations, he said. And since the first major wave of COVID in 2020 has persisted to this day, China has never weakened, Tang said. During the CCP's zero COVID-19 restrictions from 2020 to the end of 2022, Tang said the number of people who passed from this epidemic in China was already huge. He then believes that it's still unknown how many millions have died since the lockdowns were lifted. Some international organizations reported conservative estimates of 1.4 million just between December 2022 and February 2023. Children wearing masks accompanied by adults waiting to see medical staff at pandemic wards at the hospital in Hangzhou in East China. The official total number of COVID passing in China victims as of February 2023 stood at 83,150. During the same period, India reported a higher confirmed death toll of 531,794, with the government warning that it believed there were many more victims that were not reported due to the under-testing of the population of 1.4 billion, similar to China's population claim at the time. For the same period, the United States, with its well-tested population of 343.48 million people, reported 1.1 million confirmed deaths, the most of any other nation. The World Health Organization estimates the total number of COVID-19 in China passing could be between 472,000 and 7.46 million, and in India between 2.82 million and 11.79 million. Since early 2020, Tang said, we can see that every year there is a very fierce peak of epidemic across the entire Chinese mainland, which is a very unique phenomenon that does not seem so severe in any other country, he said, but the CCP has used other methods to cover it up, such as saying it is a pneumonia epidemic or some other virus. Each wave of such a pandemic caused large number of victims in China. Tang believes the Chinese Communist government is covering up the number of deaths. The CCP delayed the release of the census data, sparking speculation among commentators that China's population had been drastically reduced by COVID-19. Eventually, the CCP released the data claiming that China still had 1.4 billion people, which the Chinese people disputed. Some have noted in recent videos that when Chinese reported having 1.2 billion people in the early 2010s, both China's villages and cities were much more crowded, packed as far as the eye can see. However, this is not the case now, with CCP claim a population of 1.4 billion. As for why China's rapidly shrinking population is only now drawing the attention of Chinese people, Tang said, there's a delay effect on the large-scale population decline. It takes a while for many signs to appear. He added that China's troubled, centrally planned economy is another reason. After the Chinese economy slumped due to structural problems and the US-led trade war, job opportunities in many first and second-tier cities also declined, and fewer migrant workers came to the cities to fill the population gap, he said. So suddenly, it became obvious that the population had decreased significantly. This is from Prime News Press. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.